naked. Do it naked.
When you're naked, you're naked. I think most of the people are made naked. Naked eyes. Cozy.
Today is Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah.
Maybe there will be the mind accident.
The only day there's a little possibility of enlightenment. The 13 is a tower, I think, of certain surprises. When I remember Osho's Taro, the forecast was, as always, wrong.
Yeah.
It was nothing that's a 10% possibility of rain.
A shower.
Yeah, but 10% possibility.
Can be very strong.
Below 50, it's nothing. Nope. Especially the Akku weather.
Yeah. Yes. That's the word.
Everyone is using it, everyone is wrong.
But why are is the best? Why are?
Why?
Why are for weather forecasting is the best?
No need.
It's just called YR. YR.
Why are
The letters YR.
is
Weather report is called weather report. So, why?
I don't know. Is that from?
Just leave it, it doesn't matter, it's just wet. It will dry by itself. Otherwise we have to do it all the time. I have cleaning ladies around me anyway.
They're also catch a cold.
Everyone is afraid that I catch a cold.
Hey, you'll catch a cold.
Yeah.
I cannot catch it, I already have it. How can I catch it? From who? Anyone has a cold? Go home. Home. So what to do? Normally I like it. It's like winter in Tiru.
AccuWeather said this, it would be like this on Sunday and Monday.
Yeah, today is Friday. They're right, but the days are not fitting.
And I talked to an Indian friend who has a television. She was watching the news. She says 2 more cyclones coming. Yeah, this is cyclone.
This is monsoon season.
No, this is not, well, it's monsoon season, but it's cyclone season too.
Yeah, both. It comes mostly in that time. I know the first year, 94, it was flooding. There was all the streets were gone. Nothing. No Bangalore Road, no Chennai Road. For 2-3 weeks, no traffic.
You know some people who are going to go to Bangalore today and can't go. Because some lake is overflowing on the road.
Yeah. They may not make it.
They may not make it. They change their plans.
Have you got any carpenters? Maybe you can build us an ark.
Okay, so we can talk about the inner sun more than the outer sun. May the sunshine be with you, Robert. Okay, so get it warm. We are warming up. Some questions? He doesn't need to warm up. It's always hot. Okay.
Dürfte ich eine Frage in Deutsch aufstellen?
Wow, that's always a bit short. And I answer in English.
Warum ist das Einfache so schwierig?
Weil es einfach nicht zu machen ist. He asked why it's the most easy thing so difficult. Because you cannot become it, that's why it's impossible. The most easy thing is to be what you are, but that you cannot do. So it's impossible to do. The easiest thing is to be in knowledge, but you can never understand it. So it's impossible. It's not even only difficult, it's actually impossible to understand. So, and easy is right. And right is easy, but it's easy to be right, but to get right, to become your right, then you have to fight your lifetime for being right. Or, I'm right, I want to be right. Just be right. I presenting always, I'm right anyway. Especially when I'm wrong. So it's actually impossible to, it's not only difficult, it's impossible. That what is always, for whoever claims that he made it, is lying. So it's impossible. No way. So you better be the impossible and not being an imposter who claims to.
What is if somebody says, I didn't make it, but I am it?
Then you will know it, because you know who is saying it, where it comes from. If Nisargadatta said, I am that, no doubt. But if someone who's just by understanding says, I am that, you smell it. That you smell by, you have an instinct, it stinks, and that really stinks right away. That's your inner nose, because your nose knows. That's a third nose who knows. It's so tall. You have to close that to that. Maybe. No, you can fake it for a while, but not for long.
By Osho, they said, fake it until you make it.
It was not Osho, it was someone else. That's actually it's an American saying. It's come from America. If you cannot make it, fake it. It's not good, but this is like a space shuttle, we will fly away soon.
Yeah.
Blown away by the wind.
I think the glass cannons will be quite dangerous when they're flying through the air.
By saying listening to you is more dangerous. You say immediately into fear. So where was I? Fake it? No, I know many, whatever, they have one little experience of whatever they call awakening, and then 4 weeks later they're sitting somewhere and talking about giving satsang. Fantastic. I always tell them, 15 years, 20 years, just wait a bit. Just take it easy. Don't rush, you have no rush. Because the moment you want to share it, you lose it. Again, it's nothing to share. Especially sitting on a chair, enlightenment chair. No, but I'm really amazed how quick it goes always. They have half a year with Muchi, and then they become an offspring and sitting somewhere and claiming, I got it from Muchi, who got it from Papaji, who got it from Ramana. And don't believe me, because I got it from one who got it from someone who got it from someone. Oh, mamma mia. And I'm confirmed, because he confirms that I got it. Wonderful. See that even the spirits are flowing. So, questions about letting it settle in its natural whatever.
Karl.
Yeah.
You said that you have a death experience every night, but we are not aware of it.
I'm just pointing to it that you die every night, otherwise you could not sleep.
But you were talking once about the death experience you had and you were aware of it. But how could you be aware of it? Or what was the difference to death experience?
The difference is that you are conscious when it happens. You just drop your conscious and drop into that. It's like dropping out and dropping in. But like Ramana was aware that in that moment, and even awareness drops, so he has to go one by one, not at once, in that sense. Then you cannot deny it anymore. Then it becomes part of your story. Then it's your absolute story. And before it's your relative story of sleeping and waking up. That was really not in the forecast. It was not meant like that. You will fly away.
Get blind to the
I remember this Shivananda, this ashram after Yogi, there was all the tin flew away one year, 2 years ago. It was like yeah, the tin moved. They're sailing away. And then you'll be being killed by a tin roof. How did he die? He was killed by a tin roof. In America very often, tornado season, shopping heads. First talking head and then shopping head. So good.
So the difference is that it just happened. He was aware to a certain point and then the awareness dropped.
No.
I still don't get it.
Nothing dropped. You just, like you reduce yourself to the max. So that what never can be more reduced, that's all. Nothing has to go for it. Nothing will drop for it. That you can do now. That is like the meditation of who am I. It doesn't have to drop. You just withdraw from everything. It's like you reduce yourself to the maximum of what you cannot not be. So it's not something you have to wait for, like a death experience or something. You can do it right now. Why wait? Why postpone that being what you are? Why waiting for a death experience? Because if this I call a death experience. And it's just the point is that you're in spite of this experience, not because. If you would be because of this moment, you would not be in the next moment. Or is there that what is uninterrupted? In this moment, in the next moment, and all the moments before, and all the moments may come, there's that what you are. If you really would depend on this moment, you would die in this moment, with this moment. Because there is nothing happens for you. Moment comes, moment goes, the next moment comes, goes, and nothing happens. So you experience that moment by moment. This moment dies and another moment appears. Disappearing, appearing, disappearing, appearing. But what you are is in appearing, not appearing, and in disappearing, not disappearing. That's all. That is in that experience, right now. It's not something which is somewhere in the back where you enter the fourth state and the samadhi, blah, blah, blah. This is you realizing yourself in fleeting shadows of yourself, and you yourself are not a shadow of it. That's all. Because by all the shadows you don't change. Finally. Don't wait for any Ramana experience or someone who had a death experience or near-death experience. What is a near-death experience actually?
Actually, a near-death experience is a big drama.
Yeah.
They see the light, they see the tunnel, they see people.
They disconnect from the body and flying on top of it. After an accident or some major event, they just go out of the body and then they come back. Like having an accident, hitting the tree, and then Going up and then looking down, oh, who is that one who lost an arm? Bam! It's me. Oh, shit. Just by interest, who wants to know who is that one? Oh, it's me. No, but then out of that experience they tell themselves, I'm awakened. I'm not the body. But who says I'm not the body? Who says that? And who is saying it after that experience and not before? I can just point to that what was, is and will be, never, never. And that what is this fleeting talala.
Yeah. And then they all become psychics after the experiences. I mean, working psychics. Working psychics.
Working psychics. You have to open.
Oh my God.
Not for you today, nor too windy. The blue butterfly.
Is it windier up here or down there? Huh? Is it windier up here, or downstairs?
Yeah, it's always windy up here. So, what to do? So don't wait for anything.
Yeah, we're not waiting anyway.
They're just pointers that you are in the absence and in the presence, that's all.
I just ask myself if everything dies when it's aware of death, nothing is there.
There is no point. Only death can die. There is nothing what can die. That it's an illusion. There's eternal life. That's all. There's no death in it. This moment is as eternal and absolute as that what is life itself. There's no dying for anything. As nothing is ever born, nothing will ever die, and only eternal life is. So actually the death experience is an illusion. That's the only illusion, that something dies. Because you have the illusion that something is born. Then you think something has to die. But it's windy today. Not an illusion. Or is it? Will it be windy tomorrow too? Then it has to be always a windy. So what to do?
The cosmic consciousness is also
part of the dream.
Huh?
It's part of the dream.
Part of the dream.
The small dream and the big dream. You dream small and you dream big. That's all.
And both are dying and dreaming.
No, there is no dying in it. I just always, and then, as if I spit into the ocean, and the ocean spits back.
Spit bigger.
Who is spitting more? It's like you spit and a wave comes. There is no such thing as dying. Yes, there is no such thing as birth from anything. Nothing is ever born. And reality is uninterrupted. There is no birth in reality. And the unreal means like you believe in birth and death. That's the unreal. A dream like birth is a dream like birth and a dream like death. Nothing is born in the experience of birth and nothing dies in the experience of dying. So what is there? Whatever is born, nothing. And nothing will ever die. So what to do? So there is no way out. As there is no death, you cannot escape what you are. It's a consequence of it. No way out of you being what you are, and that is life, and life is never born, and life just playing, living life as in this illusionary coming and going. Because that's the way it is. Because there's an illusion of coming and an illusion of going. But in coming nothing comes, and in going nothing goes. So nothing ever happened. So what to do?
And that's it.
That's it. There's no more to it, or less. But that means this will never end, because there's nothing to end, because there was never anything was created. There's nothing whatever can be died. As absolute as the para-Brahman is Brahman, and absolute as the creation is, whatever, there's only the absolute.
So when you're talking, it's a point I brought up last week, is that my mind doesn't understand what you're saying, and I don't even care about that anymore. There was a time when I would work with my mind to try to understand, and I don't even care anymore, so it must be a place of receptivity, I guess. And yet there is that, something that goes yes, 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 yes.
There's an unpronounced yes.
Yes.
There's the silence agree. There's a total agreement of what you are. You agree to every, yes.
Absolutely, definitely.
Even if I would read the telephone book. Yes. Yes. It's not what I say, for sure not.
And that yes is in spite of what the mind is doing.
I'm just talking to keep the mind busy that some whatever is there.
Yeah.
So I take over your mind because I don't mind, and then you can be what you are. And that is always yes.
It's just always yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Not even pronounced. It's just yes. So the most silent agreement, like agreeing to yourself, and that there is peace.
And there's peace.
Because there's peace, there's yes.
Right.
Because there's a doubtlessness of being, and in the doubtlessness there's a peace and there's yes. So you agree to your existence, and then there's peace. Normally you don't agree with how you are, what happened, because you're a seeker and you want to go out of this. And then there's no agreement. And by talking to you and taking over that doubtful tralala, there's a certain agreement, unexpected. Then you don't know, well, then there's a doubtlessness, but the problem is no one can take it with them.
Want to take it?
No one can take it.
No one can take it.
Because this ownership thing steps in again.
That steps in again, that's the issue.
Yes. Then that owner wants even to own the doubtlessness of existence. My doubtlessness.
And wants to make a state or something out of it, wants to make something out of the doubtlessness.
Absolutely. And it wants to tell his friends.
Yeah.
And he wants to show off. Look, I experience myself, I know myself as that, and now I want to share that. So it's maybe a natural tendency of a good intention, maybe even, whatever. But
Yeah. So that doubtlessness, when we talk about that which is unchanging, that doubtlessness is that which is unchanging.
it's neither changing or not changing. It is by changing, not changing. And by not changing, not changing. It's neither.
Right.
So if you make it that what is not changing, you make it again different to that what is changing. So it is not different in nature of that what is changing and not different to that what is not changing.
Right.
It is just that what is life.
Right. Okay.
So otherwise you make it two again
Yes.
and special. But it's never special. It's more than ordinary. It's just the nature, the nature of nature, which never needs anything to know to be the nature. So the natural state doesn't know any state, and there is no one who can be in it.
So that's why there's no sense of being anything different, anything special, anything at all, because it's a natural state.
It's a natural.
Yeah.
There's nothing to gain in it, because there's nothing to lose in being what you are, and nothing to gain, and the peace doesn't need to be shared because there are no others anyway.
Right.
So what peace needs to be shared is a relative my peace.
Yeah.
And then I can show you my peace, and my peace is bigger than your peace. What? That teaches, but the teacher comes out immediately, comes afterwards. He thinks, now I got something, and now by good intention I want to tell the world, I want to share it, because I found some precious whatever. And then coming only these guys like Ramana and things, they say, there's no guru, no disciple, there's nothing to do. This is just entertainment. And just experience yourself in an absolute entertainment. So entertain yourself. Because it's your infinite entertainment. So you're the show master and the show. But you cannot master yourself. Not even the show. You believe you be a show master, you can master the show, but you cannot even master yourself. As in yourself, there's neither master nor show. The self never shows. Not even as Osho. The Osho mania. When there's Osho, there's no show? No. They do show. No, I can just...
It's amazing because we all know we are. We all know we exist.
No one needs to be taught to be.
Yeah.
And I've just pointed to it that that's what you are. You never forgot, you don't have to remember. And you never unlearned it, so you don't have to learn it again. But you believe you have to learn to live again. Oh, but that takes forever. Because you want to master yourself. A master of life. Yeah, I'm quiet soon. No, it's strange. I hear people, I went to this heart master. And he tried to open my heart. And? Yeah, now I have an open heart. And? Yeah, now I'm fucked. Because now I feel everybody and I cannot take it. And then they start complaining because now everything comes in, but there's still one who takes it, cares about what comes in, and then they have these problems of getting psychological overflow, like a big wave coming in of all the shit which is around them, because they only want to have the good one and want to keep it, but they cannot anymore, so that negative and positive come zoom. And for what you are, no problem. But for one who wants to take it, wow. If the back door is not open, it will knock you down.
So when the mind, because there is that which knows the truth, which knows.
It is that what is truth, but doesn't know any truth.
Yeah.
By being knowledge, but not by knowing it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
And the knowledge that you are, you never forgot. So what to do? So you never left what you are, how can you go back? But in a dream you left yourself, and in a dream you go back. So I agree, in a dream there is a forgetting, in a dream there is a remembering.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah, you experience yourself like it.
Yeah.
So there's a dream-like forgetting and a dream-like remembering. But you were always that what you were. In forgetting you haven't forgotten, and in remembering you don't remember. But still I agree, in a dream it happens. It's part of entertainment. Because to play stupid you have to forget yourself. And then to play clever again you have to remember yourself. But the knowledge of what you are is uninterrupted what it is. So there was never any consequence for what you are. Even being the absolute stupid guy walking around like a total, even an awakened one, is what he is. That's always amazing. That was shocking for me. That even one who claims to be awakened is still what he is. That is not fair. Huh? Even one who claims to be that he realizes his true nature, he is what he is. Fuck. That is not fair. Or it's fair.
Because the expectation, the impression that's given is something different than that.
Yeah, of course. Even though the one who is the total arrogant asshole, claiming that he is a realized one and you not, even he is what he is.
Yes.
Fuck. That's really not fair. Because you are always like this humility, and you are keeping down, distancing, and she's just problem, and this arrogant asshole, the biggest me ever. I think even that guy is what he is. And this little one who is devotional and thinks I am special, and he can never be it. I maybe come closer because I drop everything, I renounce everything, I devote myself to God, who doesn't want me anyway. But I devote myself anyway, even if he doesn't want me. What can he do? One devotes him. Okay, welcome, or not. It's really like a big thing.
And it leads one who's done a lot of sadhana to feel like it's all a big focus.
Yeah.
And it is very disappointing.
It's totally disappointing. That's why many people, the first time they come, they're really disappointed. They always say, I have this Mahadevi from Holland. She says, 50 years I'm running after masters, and I'm still sitting with you, and all my sadhanas and all my listening, all for nothing you tell me? Karl, I hate you.
Yeah, but you can also hate yourself for being such an idiot and have fallen for all this.
Yeah, but you have to see the joke, and then you start laughing about it. It's the only thing what you can do,
But
laugh.
it's a joke you hate your life for sometimes.
Yeah, of course, and I'm sitting here and tell you, what else could you have done?
That's the point.
What else could you have done?
That's the point. Yeah. I could, sold fish, I don't know.
No, it's like the choicelessness or you are the Almighty, but you have no power to change your own realization. You cannot not wake up to that stupidity of falling in love with yourself. How can you not fall in love? And out of love you become the stupidest whatever belief. Lover. And then you hate to love yourself. You started to hate yourself for that you love yourself. But out of love you hate yourself. And you want to hate the love for yourself out of love for yourself. Fuck it all. How stupid can one be? But I tell you, unlimited stupidity is in front of you, and you are that. So.
Even Rumi wrote a poem like, I hate for the love of God. Everything is for the love of God. Everything negative is all for the love of God.
Yeah.
I don't remember the poem.
No. First you start a business by loving God, because you think, when I love God, I get something from Him. When He doesn't give you what you want, you start hating Him. That's the way it is. Your imaginary friend, which is an imaginary friend, and if you alone had this imaginary friend, you would end in a madhouse. But there are many of us who have this imaginary friend, you call it religion. And then you're okay. And if it doesn't deliver what you want, you start hating him. I forget you, No, not anymore, not you. But that's why in India there are many 1,000 gods or 100,000 gods or something. If one doesn't work, another way. 3 million. Course. So many cores. 10 million, 20 million, for everyone.
Oh, because this guy didn't produce, so maybe this guy.
Yeah. That's why it's Ganesha for that, and Shiva they just go the next day, or they come from that temple to the next temple, and if they don't work, maybe Ramana will do. Okay. You are delivering? No. He has no franchising system. Not delivering anything. Deliberately. Yeah, loving, hating, both sides. But what to do?
What is the difference between realization and madness?
No difference. It's all part of madness. Because the idea of reality is already mad. It's crazy. Even to call something real is crazy. And then claiming that you are realized is more crazy. It's just like another dimension of craziness. It's like the most crazy thing is now maybe 8 billion people believe to be born. That's the craziest idea you can have, that you exist. So the moment you exist, you're in the madhouse of existence. And then you want to become a doctor. But the doctor is even more crazy than you. Because he believes that he can heal you. Wow. They all have a loose screw up there, they say in Germany. And then you need a shrink to fix it again. So who is...
Inflammation of the brain. So you need to shrink.
Yeah, shrink. It's shrinking, because you need one who talks to you that your brain is shrinking, because without brain you would be better off. That's why it's called shrink. It's shrinking your brain. At least your bank account gets less, for sure. It's shrinking you infinitely. Yeah, so the moment you wake up, becoming aware, it's a beginning of craziness. That's why it's called crazy wisdom. Wisdom, knowledge in itself, doesn't know anything. But the moment knowledge wakes up, it's crazy wisdom, running wild. Totally crazy, without any concept of what it has to do and what not. Totally crazy, has no direction. Just boom, boom, boom. How can 8 billion people otherwise be created? It's crazy. There's no plan behind it. There's no 5-year plan or something. There's no designer.
No divine design.
There's no designer.
What about people who talk about cosmic design or whatever it's called? Divine design.
Krishna.
There's a design.
Krishna is the designer. The one who wrote the blueprint. The blueprint of whatever.
Is there?
Yeah, they call him Krishna. And Krishna, but in the Mahabharata,
That's a different Krishna.
No, that's Krishna.
Oh, that's Krishna, but you're talking about...
No, I'm talking about
the
Shiva.
reality?
Shiva as the archetype of an avatar, who is like Shiva experiencing as Krishna. You can call it awareness or something, whatever call it.
Yeah, but who wrote this cosmic play? I mean, they say that.
Yeah, but it's like one wants to explain it, that there has to be someone who has a plan.
But it's not possible it's all illusion, right? It's not possible that it's
Calling
planned.
what?
Planned.
No, there's a plan, but no one made the plan.
There is a plan.
Because that one who is the planner of the plan is part of the plan. So the puzzler is part of the puzzle. So who created the puzzler and the puzzle? You can call it life. Life living itself as a puzzler, and in front of it a puzzle. And the puzzler always believes something is missing in the puzzle. That's why he's seeking the missing part of this puzzle of life. So he's very puzzled because he's looking for something is missing. There's always little thing is missing. That if I just find that little missing thing. And then every night when you are exhausted by puzzling and finding this missing puzzle, you just relax, and then naturally the puzzler goes into the puzzle, and the puzzle doesn't know any puzzle or puzzler. So the puzzle is there. So with and without the puzzle is, but in the morning the puzzler wakes up, and then he starts puzzling again, and always missing. What is the puzzler missing? Himself. Because he is a missing puzzle of the puzzle. So if you just relax, then sometimes people have the oneness experience because they relax into that oneness of the puzzle. But then they take it personal and coming back as one who experiences himself as the oneness of the puzzle. And then they become teachers. A puzzler teacher. A puzzler who found out he is a missing puzzle. So even that is madness. Because this is part of the dream of being a puzzler and a puzzler and all of that. So there is a little puzzler who is puzzled, and then he becomes a cosmic puzzler who is part of the puzzle. The oneness puzzler. The oneness puzzler and the little puzzler who is puzzled by the big puzzle. Wow. Puzzlement. That is consciousness. But what you are is absolutely in spite of it. And only in consciousness there is someone who asked a plan, an experiencer. And only the experiencer needs to know what he is experiencing. That what is experiencing the experiencer doesn't need anything to know. So there is no bridge between that. So what to do then? That's a consciousness puzzle. It will be an infinite puzzle, an infinite puzzler, sometimes a relative puzzler, sometimes a cosmic puzzler. And being a cosmic puzzler, he is one with the puzzle, and with a little puzzler, then he is different from the puzzle. But it's still part of the puzzle. Puzzle. That will never change.
No. Rajiv Maharaj used to say, there's nothing that can be done about the madness of the
No.
Nothing can be done.
The moment you want to, you want to be a doctor of your own madness, you are the biggest inmate of this madhouse. Just let the madness be the madness. Let the ignorance be the ignorance, and be that what never needs to know itself. Because bringing light into that so-called, the moment you call this the darkness of ignorance, and you want to enlighten this world, you're part of the darkness. Because even the light of Shiva is darkness. That's amazing thing. Even the light you can experience is dark compared to the light you are. So all these enlightenment experiences, awareness experiences, are all fine. And thanks God they cannot make you what you are and they cannot unmake you. But the divine accident you cannot avoid, that you wake up again. And the moment you become aware, the madhouse starts. And God is his own inmate, and his own doctor, and his own whatever, hospital. So the moment you wake up, you are hospitalized. You are established in a lie, hospitalized. You enter a sickness. Hospice. Then it becomes a hospice even, because you fear that you die in that. It becomes a hospice. And then people, what to do?
That's what a hospice is, right?
Yeah.
Hospice is where palliative care, where you put people who are dying to make them more comfortable.
Yeah.
So this whole world is hospice.
That's why they give them.
Hospice.
Why they give them morphine. It's not morphine. It's called morphine. You have to pronounce it right. Morphine. Osho, more laughing gas. Valium, Captagon. He took it. Why should I suffer about this body? I'm not the body anyway, so give me some pills. He took all of the teeth and things that they could not bother him anymore. And he died with 59. And all the vultures who were after him died with him. In Bombay, all the vultures died. You know that, the Persians?
Who?
The vultures.
Vultures? The vultures died?
There are no vultures in Bombay anymore.
After he died?
No, after they eat all the Osho people.
After eating all after eating all the dead Osho people, they died.
Yeah, because they were all full of pills and medicaments and.
There are no more vultures.
Now this is one of separation.
That is called the karmic law of consciousness.
They can't do that. They can't use the Parsi way of anymore.
No, actually the Parsis killed the vultures because the Parsis ate all the pills. But the doctors. So you want to help somebody, but you kill somebody by it. So the moment you try to help, you never know what comes out of it. No, in Bombay there is this what is called, where they put Tower of Silence. And they put all the hacking them and things, but no vultures anymore. They have to go to the desert now. And even they're killing them there because the bodies are full of these leftovers of this chemical thing.
Oh my God.
So then the tigers eat the vultures, or someone else, or the hyena, what is called this? Coyotes eating that one and that one. So
Hyenas.
In the case of the vultures, it was it's some kind of medicament that farmers give to the cow against some disease. And if the vulture eats this cow,
but the people too.
It makes the shell of the egg.
It's breaking before the thing comes out, before the bird. But the worst is human meat, I tell you. Flesh. They're so full of pesticides in it, because human gets so old. Full of it. So poor vultures, or not. In Tibet they put it in front of the dogs. The dogs eating them.
The dogs believe it?
Because in winter they cannot dig a hole, so they cannot bury, they just hack them. And no wood there's not so much wood up there. But dogs. Dogs have a feast. Good. We know us? No, we don't know each other.
No, it's first time I'm here.
At least not in our, it's called figures. So you're from?
Latvia.
Latvia?
Yeah, Latvia.
Oh, nice.
You know where it is.
That's half German. Litauen.
Yeah.
But your English is okay, you can follow, yeah?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, maybe it was a little bit noisy when it was raining. Now it's okay, yeah.
No, you see now, if nothing ever happened. Where is it? You didn't even realize it stopped.
That was the first cyclone. Now maybe
Comes the second. So, anything you want to ask?
Not yet, maybe later. Yeah, I still figure out my question.
Yeah, I always have this answer. Not yet. Let me wait a bit. When I find something when I totally disagree, I will tell you. Then I have a question. Good. German question more? So it's your mat house and you are the only inmate.
This thing might drop the dropper and it just goes so, and it gets so abstract.
Every night you drop the dropper and every morning you are stupid enough to pick it up again.
Then I try and drop the dropper during the day.
Yeah, but that's called meditation, but it doesn't work either. Oh, try harder, you will fail and enjoy the failing. There will be failing. But you are mad enough about yourself and you're crazy after you're so crazy out of love for yourself. Oh, you cannot stop it.
That's what Maharaj used to say, because people said it's so easy. You know, he says, no, the reason it's difficult is because you're in love with the illusion.
Yeah.
And it's only when you're completely fed, because you always say this, completely disgusted, fed up, that you'll be willing to leave it.
It's not when there's a nice dream. No one wants to live a nice dream. It has to be a total dream of despair and depression. That's why I like depression so much. The vacuum of sense, the senselessness of life is eating you up, embracing you. And only that what is self, which is the senselessness of life. When life is embracing life, life kills life in its whatever aspects of life. And if that is not involved, you can meditate for thousands of lifetimes, nothing will happen. But if life is involved, it will eat you up anyway, whatever you do or not. That's why they call it grace. By the grace alone, the life drops the love for itself. When the self drops the love for itself, even dropping the self, it can only be done by the self, and not by anyone who wants to be healed or in oneness or having a nice time, wanting to make this a wellness life or something, wanting to get out of the craziness of the hospital. Good luck, I always say good luck. See you next time. Good. Yeah. But then they ask, why did Ramana then, when he was 15, he was not so in the depression? Why did it happen to him? Yeah. Life doesn't need any reason. It just drops. It happens when it happens, not because of something. But maybe a side effect will be after that, this one will be in a holocaust of existence. Yeah, it's like a holocaust, like a hellfire. And only in that hellfire of that, the self being absolute, without interest of that, in that, with carelessness, you will burn away like butter in the sun. Nothing else can burn you as the carelessness itself. Because for the devil, the burning hell, the caring hell and the burning, that's still fine. Oh, I feel so bad today, I have this or whatever, I'm so depressed, I don't feel good, I'm suffering. This little hell is perfect for the sufferer. By that he is living, this little devil me, this Mad Hatter. He likes to suffer. He cannot exist without suffering. But the worst is that there is no reason for suffering anymore, because even that drops in the senselessness of life. You have not even a reason to suffer anymore. It doesn't make any sense to suffer, because normally you suffer and you call it sadhana, because by sadhana I may reach what I want. No, even that is senselessness in nature. All that actions, all that attempts are empty. And the emptiness eats you up. So good luck. So it's not like angels waiting for you and blowing into the horn and hallelujah and bhajans all over you and all these ideas of singing a bhajan coming closer to what I am. Have fun singing, but don't expect something out of bhajan. It's just like jukebox in the 50s or something. So baby, baby, bala, bala, to the crazy. Or Shiva, Shiva, Shambho, you can sing it for thousands of years, it will not come for you. You cannot attract the self by anything. It will kill you anyway, but not because you're attractive. That's already quite relaxing. You can never, whatever you do or don't do, you cannot attract the self to drop you. So just, okay, it will happen when it happens or not, but not because I have done or not done anything. Or I'm looking today very special holy or something. I never harmed anybody. The self gives a shit if you ever harmed one or not, especially yourself. But an idea, this 10 commandments, and if you follow the words of God, then He will embrace you. He kicks you even more out. Good people never come to heaven. Bad people neither, but good people for sure not. Not even. I like that. Good people never come to where they belong because they are too good for it. They are too good to be true. It doesn't work. You see that she is just making noise, and even by that the self is not attracted. You try it. At least I try. Good. What was?
So I can't do anything.
You can do anything. You can whatever you
anything,
like.
Nothing.
You are free to do whatever you like, because what you like, life likes you to do. I never make that true. What you want to do, God wants you to do. There is no true. So whatever you want, God wants. So just do what you want.
But you also said I shouldn't wait for anything.
Yeah, but still you can do what you want. There's no contradiction. Just do what you want, because what God wants is that what you want. That is God's will, or whatever you call it, you cannot deny it anyway. But as I always say, God has no willy, and without a willy you cannot want something. And the God who has a willy, it's a pity, impotent.
He's impotent.
Yeah, totally.
God, yes.
The omnipotence is absolute impotent, because it cannot control anything. The almighty omnipotence of the almighty God is absolute impotent for changing his dream. That is Krishna in the Mahabharata said, I may be the omnipotence, the almighty in my nature, but now it's too late. It's all written before it even appears. So even I, which is whatever, the almighty himself cannot change my own dream. So you have to go to war, you have to kill the people who are already dead, all what comes from the Mahabharata. Just this choicelessness from the beginning. So in Buddha, this divine accident that you wake up is not, accident means you cannot prevent it. It's an accident. So what now? Now the accident happened. Now to make it reverse, it's another accident. Accident simply means you don't have to feel guilty for that what you have not done. Because in the beginning there is no one who, by his own will, by intention woke up, because intention is only in the dream, not before whatever. So there is no intention in anything. You cannot blame anyone, because there was never any doership in anything. So there is no sin. So this is like, I'm like a priest who gives you the absolution. Yeah. They try it in the church, but then they release you and they can commit another sins and then die.
When they say absolution, does that come from absolute?
Yeah,
oh,
it comes. Because it takes all the sins away, and without a sinner, without a sin there is no sinner, and without a sinner there is the absolute. So the original sin is that you believe you have done something. That it's your plan, it's your whatever, it's mine. It's my action, my world, my consciousness, this ownership, that's original sin. By ownership you leave your absolute nature. And then there's doership and ownership and all what follows. There's crazy ideas of my life, my soul, my doing, my... And even God already, when the moment he becomes aware to be God, already that is actually a sin. But he cannot not commit that sin. So in that there is no one who could commit that sin. and not by intention, sinning, there is no one to blame, not even himself. So I'm pointing out, there is no one to blame. You cannot help yourself. You are the helplessness itself, and you cannot. Now it's too late. Now you started to realize yourself, and now it will be. It's a madhouse. I agree, and it's really like a discomfort of experience, moment by moment, an experience of discomfort. God knowing Himself, it's already a relative experience, and that is discomfortable. What to do with it? The comfort of what you are, you haven't lost in it. But still you have to realize yourself in discomfort. So what to do? So you better be that comfort who is in spite of the experience of discomfort. And not because the discomfort ends. Because the discomfort will not end as the comfort never ends. So the ease, what you are, is always ease. And the disease, which you experience, is a disease, okay. But does it make you sick? No. You just experience your disease, but there is no one who is sick. Because your nature is holy anyway, unspotted, untainted by anything. But you experience yourself as the biggest bastard ever. So what to do? No way to end it. How can you end something what is not even started? So in the beginning I disagreed with Buddha because for me there is no divine accident. He just took it as a pointer to that you cannot not experience yourself. So waking up already is an accident. And before you cannot have an intention of waking up or staying there because there's no one there at all who can have anything. But now I take it as a pointer. It's like, because even that waking up doesn't happen. Because that what you are is always that what is neither awake or not. So nothing wakes up even. There's no such thing as waking up. From what? Into what? So that's why in Nisargadatta called the block of existence, which nothing ever happened. So there's not even a waking up. So you don't even have to excuse yourself for anything, because nothing ever happened anyway. But what to do? I like pointers. No one needs them, but good for entertainment. Still okay? Sounds dangerous.
But to be, for those like Ramana, for those few who can reside whatever they want in the reality. I mean, they are the reality. When they're speaking, they're speaking. You know, if somebody asked Maharaj, when you're speaking, are you the reality speaking? And he said, no, the reality doesn't say anything.
Sure.
I speak for the reality. So you're speaking for the reality.
No, I would say I'm a loudspeaker for it. I'm not speaking for anyone.
No.
I'm what you call me, this Karl, is a loudspeaker for what I am.
Okay.
And you're a microphone for what you are.
Okay, but to be able to
but both is phony.
Yeah.
So a phony loudspeaker is speaking to a phony microphone.
Yeah.
So the self talks to itself through.
But does something have to happen for someone, is that an accident, to be able to reside there in your real and your true self?
Maybe you are resigned from resigning. You cannot resign out of what you are. So there's a resignation of resignation. You resign from resigning. Because now as a seeker you want to resign, and you think one day I will resign. But then you see you cannot, there's a total absolute realization you cannot leave what you are. Reality cannot leave what is reality, so you resign from resigning. You renounce renunciation, that he is standing for. You devote devotion. Because what is not, you don't know anymore what you are and what you are not. So the absolute owner of whatever is and is not. You are that heart of what is. You are heart itself. So it's not by accident you are heart. You are heart anyway. So it's not like you resign from resigning, but now by believing being born, being apart, like a relative, you want to resign from the world, from whatever. You want to go to a place where it's better, to more comfort or anything. But
well, you say this is all nonsense, right? But still it bugs, it bites. It bites.
No, the dog bites himself all the time. It's like, and sometimes he finds his own tail and then he bites into his own tail and then he calls it self-realization and then he sucks his own blood and says that is bliss. So for a while the dog is satisfied because he sucks his own blood. And then for an accident he releases his tail again and then he's hungry again. There's a temporary satisfaction and temporary hunger. And sometimes this consciousness that's why they call it consciousness like a bitch. It's a bitch, sometimes the bitch is finding his own tail and biting into the tail and sucking his own blood and then it's a one-legs experience. And then, at the moment it's releasing the tail, the fairy tale of being hungry again, because both is a fairy tale. It's all a fairy tale. And you are the biggest fairy tale teller ever, because you tell yourself all the fairy tales. And you cannot stop telling yourself, there is no end to the fairy tale. So the dream and that what is dreaming, the dream is not different. So the Parabrahman cannot stop the dream, because he's not part of the dream. If he would be part of the dream, maybe he could stop it. But as he is never part of anything, he's never involved in anything. So the Almighty cannot stop anything. So there is no bridge. That is your real, there is no bridge. This is what you are, and there is no bridge to anything. Maybe you tried all the fake bridges, from the first personal to the second formless, and then to awareness. Then you go into the samadhi of the fourth initiation, of the fourth state, the Christ state, or whatever. Then you come back impersonal to the fifth state, to the impersonal sixth and seventh. So you went through all the 7 states, and you tried for sure. This first state is the worst state. I agree. All the 6 other states are quite fine. Because already in the formless state there is no suffering, there's no body, there is no place to suffer, because there's no separation, because it's formless. Yeah, then you take that as your real state. But you end up here again. Because you cannot leave it. Because the 7 states are the 7 dream-like states you realize yourself in. 7 states of realization. In different. 3 are personal and 4 are impersonal. But the personal you cannot miss. You have to experience yourself as personal and as impersonal. And if you cannot be in this first state what you are, you will not become it in the other states. That's why I tell people, stay here. I don't want you to go anywhere. Because in the second, third, you're already gone. I cannot touch, it's already you escaped from something, and that one will come back. The crucial thing is here, this hell of separation experience, this having a body experience, having this phantom blah blah blah. If you cannot be here and now what you are, you will not become it there. And the absolute is here as absolute is there. So I don't mind the other ones, but this is crucial. This is Mahabharata, the acceptance of hell. Yes, resigning from this, whatever you call it, experiences of separation and personal bullshit. It's bullshit, total bullshit and unneeded. But you cannot get rid of it. So what? You realize yourself in 7 different things, and this is the worst case scenario. Having a body, being in a birth experience, being mortal maybe, even all that experiences are, I know it's crazy, it's a madhouse. It's a total fuck up, the totally fucked up state. All this 8 billion selves and thing, and you cannot, wow, and all that thing what happens, and all the dramas, and all the rapes, and pedophilia, and all what happens in this hallelujah state. And you cannot get out of it, because this is as you are. And if you cannot be here, this is okay, go. Have a little rest. Every night you go to the samadhi. And in the morning you pick up here where you left yesterday. It starts again. Try it. I don't have anything against it, but if you ask me, be the peace which is what you are here, now, this one. If you cannot be in peace with yourself here and now, you will not be in peace. Being there in peace with what you are is a piece of cake. This, in this hell of whatever, of separation, in this war, moment by moment a warrior experience, who is worrying about his little piece of shit. This caretaking bullshit, taking care about this shit factory, this one. If you cannot be in that shit factory presence, what you are, that experience, you will not become it there. And the peace is here, and not somewhere else.
So being yourself also includes...
There is no exclude, nothing is excluded.
Yeah, so
it never includes anything, but nothing is excluded.
So that's also being this body, even when it's not...
No, not being the body, having a body experience. And by that body experience, you are not the body. You just experience the body, but you are not the body. You experience yourself as the mind, but you are not the mind. You experience yourself awareness, but you are not awareness. You are never that what you experience. But as absolute as you are, is your realization. So you have to realize yourself in this shit factory. This shit factory has to be experienced. You cannot. You want to piss off, but no way. You cannot leave what you are. So it's nicer. Already being in Satori, and after whatever, you disconnect from the body and you have this like little dead experience of perception without a body, space-like, and then in the ether of freedom, freedom, at least, at last, I'm free now. Yeah, well then, you expand. Whatever can be expanded goes back to that tension. Big expansion. And what I'm doing here, I maximize you to, or minimize you to the maximum, because whatever. There's no... Try harder. No, all that realized people who realize themselves awareness in fourth state, fifth, and Davrijan, the only one ever who reached the seventh state. What a special asshole. He's still an asshole, even in reaching the seventh state of consciousness. He's still a relative asshole. Yeah, what? An asshole who takes him as special, being the first one who reached, not even Ramana reached it, he claimed. But I did. Imagine. Bravo! But I liked him, he was quite a fucker. But what to do? Davrijan the Bright. So, now it's peaceful outside. Yeah? We'll have to talk more. No, but whatever you try is trying to escape and you fail. And you go to all, maybe we have to look in all the rooms, not finding you in anyone, and the peace which cannot be found, and then you rest in that what cannot be found, and then the peace which you were looking for was already there. It was never. It's the old story of the ultimate medicine. You try everything, and by failing in everything, you resign from resigning, because you failed in resigning. So by failing resigning from what you are, you resign. It's a total, absolute resignation of resigning. And the resigner is just, and you are with and without the resigner. Oh. And you're with and without the definer. So it's, the definer always wants to make it finer. It has to be finer. More impersonal, more ether, more finer. It's never fine enough. And then without it, whatever the definer is reaching is relative. Thank God.
Is this resignation of very painfully?
Painfully? For who?
Still for what I call body?
For the body, everything is painful for the body. The body is pain already. I tell you, it's really, people would not agree normally. I tell you, even the experience of bliss is pain for what you are. It's a discomfort experience. The most blissful experience of whatever you can imagine is an experience of pain compared to what you are. That is really, you cannot comprehend that.
No, but you can experience it. I used to feel lots of bliss earlier on, years and years and years ago. Lots of bliss, but I'm more comfortable now. I don't feel any bliss.
Then be happy, otherwise you have blisters in your brain from all that bliss.
I'm comfortable.
It's always blisters up there, because you count the bliss moments and they become blisters in your brain, and then you compare every other moment to the bliss moments, and then you're really in hell, because you compare what is better than this one is really than hell. This bloody bliss is what's a bloody happy moment, they are the worst. Really fucks them all. Happy, feeling happy, it's worst case scenario. Worst orgasms are the worst case scenarios. Being in ecstasy, worst case scenario.
It's like pleasure, pain, or it's on the border, right?
It's maximum pain. Yeah, I mean it. Just bloody bliss states, and after Bhajan singing, being in this trance of, then you come back and you go for something else, and then everything is so pale. And so you create your own hell by heaven and hell. You try all the drugs and all the possibilities of meditation techniques to be in the absence of me. And then, by that you confirm that you are one who can only be happy in the absence of one who is miserable. So you make your happiness, your absolute ananda, depending on the absence of one who is not happy.
I think I never will get it, because maybe it's not to get, but I still ask myself, who comes to this conclusion when the relative dreamer never will disappear, because he never was there?
Because what you are
you're talking
it's not a conclusion, it's just being what you are, which is with and without that relative dreamer. Never because of it, that's all. It's not a conclusion, it's not like the thinking and then is a conclusion, and this is a conclusion of your thinking or your experience. No, it's just the most subtle aha, even unpronounced, that you are with and without. And that what is with and without is independent of the presence or absence of anything. That's all. That's it. Being absolute in spite, not because of anything. This is not a conclusion. This is not something new. Is that what you were, what you are, and what you will be? Absolute independent of any event. Eventually. But it's nothing new.
So none of it, the I sense, the dreamer, none of that has to disappear. Just to be known for what it is.
It cannot disappear, because there is nothing what can disappear. That's the whole problem.
Right.
Life cannot disappear. Is there anything else but life? And how can life disappear? It just changes its form, and then you call it disappearing? Huh?
Yeah.
No, I mean like...
Yeah.
That was now is this form will be the next moment that form. This moment will be the next moment, but the nature of this moment doesn't disappear in it.
Right.
The information of life changes to that information.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean life disappears. So nothing is disappearing and disappearing, and nothing is appearing and appearing. So in all that appearing, nothing appears. So in all the so-called dream-like disappearing, nothing disappears. So what is there to... What can go? That's a question. What is there to go?
Right.
Where should it go to? Where did it come from? And if it really could go, it would still wait for you for later maybe. But there was no beginning in the first appearance.
Yes.
How can then be an end of that? But the oldest pointer, the gold of life, showing itself in infinite ornaments. But you always look at the ornaments, but the gold is always the gold, but never as it shows itself. So that what is the unpronounced, which will never pronounce as that what it is pronouncing itself in infinite vibrations of whatever. So the light shows itself even as that sunshine or this vibration of light, but the vibration of light is not light. So what is there? So nothing comes in coming and nothing goes in going, so nothing ever happens. That's the point. Yeah. By all that experiences of happenings,
nothing ever happens.
If there's really nothing what is born by what is there to die? The experience we can talk about. Yes, there's an experience of birth. But what is born in it? Is the energy who was a baby before not there? It was this food body came out of many energies. What before it was animals and vegetables and things, and the energy now shows us this shit factory or whatever, and the shit will be something else again. So the nature of shit is not different from whatever. It's all that what is you call consciousness or energy living itself.
Like everything comes from everything, they say.
Wow. Nothing
comes from nothing.
Nothing comes from nothing, and everything.
Comes from everything.
And nothing comes as everything, and everything comes as nothing. I say, whatever. But it sounds good. Nothing comes as everything, and everything comes as nothing.
I could write a poem about it.
Yeah. No, it sounds okay. It's already a poem. Everything shows itself. No, nothing shows itself as everything, and everything shows itself as nothing. So who shows who? Who is showing what? Who is the shower and what is shown? What is the difference?
I don't know. The last book of the Sargadatta is called Nothing is Everything. Nothing is everything. But but Maharaj used to say everything is nothing. So it's funny, he'd say everything is nothing. And
doesn't matter in what way you do it.
This is called Nothing is Everything.
Yeah? From the last tapes.
From the last talks.
Yeah, they made some new books. From my publisher actually did it. I have to tell him.
Oh.
Next time, better titles.
The publisher titles it?
I think Nisargadatta would...
Not Nisargadatta, but the guy who was there for the last talks. His name's he wouldn't even know?
I have no idea.
Who's your publisher?
Zen publication. All this, whatever. And they're just putting books out like, I feel like a bitch with many puppies. No, what to do? Have some more sweet. Life is bitter enough, have some sweet. So.
I want to ask a question. You spoke about acceptation of sorrow, of pain, of life drama. And what about acceptation of wishes, of good sensations like sweets, and all this? It's like if we wish something, sweets are very close. You can take it, okay, it's very quick. But if it's
they're so dangerous, I tell you.
Yeah. But what about the wishes?
Wish?
Yeah. How about acceptation of wish? Usually we accept them automatically.
You try to accept something what you have not done. Because try to wish before you wish what you wish, before you wish what you wish. No, that's all. Try to want what you want before you want what you want. Try it. People ask me what's the right way of meditating. I always tell them, try to want what you want before you want what you want. Try it. It's impossible. When that impossible, there is just an absence of, try to think before you think what you think. Because that would be the confirmation of a thinker. A thinker can only call him a thinker when he can think what he thinks before he thinks what he thinks. That makes him a thinker. A doer can only be a doer when a doer can choose what he is doing before he is doing. Otherwise there is no chooser or doer, whatever. So the meditation actually should be, try to want what you want before you want what you want. There's a total absence there. There is impossible.
So it just happens.
Wishes just come out of the same as everything. The next moment creates it. It's called the totality of the next moment, and part of the totality of the next moment is the wish. But there's no ownership of it. Who owns it? And try not to make noise if you have a spoon in a tin cup. It's the same. It's always amazing if one has a drilling and making a sledgehammer, he doesn't hear it. There is no one who is using it. You're totally one with the sledgehammer. But the next one, the neighbor next door, he gets crazy. So be the sledgehammer. Be the thinker, be the thinking that what is thought. You are that. You are not the thinker who owns the thought. Because the thinker is already a thought. Coming from where? No one knows. So who is thinking the thinker first? That is like, who am I?
Yeah, the same with the question, who am I? Something similar happens. There is also absence, because there is never an answer.
Yeah, but people take it personal and they become the answer to the question.
No, yeah, of course, you can always take it personal.
Yeah, but then it's fake.
So always, who am I has no end, because always when I find something what I could be, the one who finds it is still me. Or, no?
You're always that. It's a pointer to that whatever. It never works. So Ramana made that technique that you fail. Because you always take yourself as the answer to the question. And that makes you fake. As the fake as the one who's asking. So failing is that question. It's not like that you succeed as being the answer to that question. Because that is mainly, I realize my true nature because I am the answer to my question. Fuck it.
Yeah.
But that is, it's always natural that you take it personal. And you cannot not it, so you cannot kill the phantom. And the phantom will always, even he calls himself the supreme. It's a supreme phantom. That what is a supreme will never call itself supreme. That what is a parabrahman will never call himself parabrahman. There is no one who pronounces that what he is. And whoever claims that he was reaching that state of parabrahman, I always say, good luck. Talk to you later. So that who am I for sure is a failing question. It's not a successful question. But many suckers take it as a successful technique.
When there is coming this state of enlightenment, people talk about how comes, in coffee shops.
I think states of enlightenment are merely in coffee shops.
So they think that they found an answer to this question, but how can they fool themselves with that?
How not? How you fool yourself to believing that you are born? How can you fool yourself like that? Why? The fooling is unlimited.
But in different states of consciousness.
Different fooling.
Is it?
You just become it's always easy, and you always succeed in fooling yourself. You are the biggest successor of yourself. Same.
But like
so the biggest successor is the biggest sucker, because the biggest successor is the best sucker of himself. It sucks. Oh, it's all sucking. But you are the sucking and the sucked. Don't worry. Or worry and be happy, whatever.
I had a feeling that when I start to be more or less involved.
More or less involved.
Exactly.
More or less involved.
More or less involved. It was easier to fool myself that I thought I have an answer to who am I, but it's still I couldn't have an answer, but still
that's what I say.
Closer to
but it's the best failing technique I know. That's all. It's the best technique where you will always fail in.
Who am I?
And all the answers will be fake. Whatever answer comes out of that question is fake. Failing. You can do it.
At one point, is it easy to believe in the answer?
At one point you believed in being born. What's the difference? You believed your bloody mother. You should just have been in menstruation, normal menstruation, you would be happy. If you don't know how it is to have a body, you would not miss it. But now you think you will miss something when it's gone. That's all. If there would be nothing, you would not miss what was not there in the first place. But now there is some experience, and now you maybe even imagine that you will miss it, but it's not there. But every night you are without it and you don't miss it. This sickness that makes you a seeker. Who is the sickest bastard on earth? A seeker. A seeker. Seeking himself. Homesick. He's homesick. No, I like the question.
Me too. But still,
because there will never be any one can claim that he succeeded. And whoever claims that he succeeded from that question is a liar. Liar. But there are many who claim.
So mainly the regular form of meditation, so-called meditation, is just a form of lying.
No, meditation is failing. It's neither a lie or not. Even if you recognize it, if you say it's a lie, it's a lie. The second one. Maybe the second one will lift it up. Uplifting spirits here.
There is a few people around in India who call themselves Bhagavan, saying, I have known myself to be God.
Yeah, I know. Many.
I've come across a few of them in the last
I know a few too.
Yeah.
They call themselves Bhagavan, like this couple from Diksha, from Chennai and things.
That one too. But there's one here in town too.
Yeah, there's another, maybe there must be at least 20 here. At least. Some don't say it. Because they wait a while. They wait a bit until they pronounce it, because until they are ready to show the world that they are God.
Is there anything in it? I
Yeah,
mean, is
money.
there anything one can really say, I mean, these people really had that experience?
No, there's good money in it.
Beside that?
Diksha.
Oh yeah, Diksha.
No, there is always something, attention coming to you. But I say it's two lies. One who says I'm a person is a liar, and the one who says I'm God is a liar too. Just liar. Whatever
They
you.
believe it, truly they believe.
They are very authentic. I don't question their authenticity, but they are authentic liars. No, you can only meet authentic liars, and every morning the authentic liar wakes up.
Like the German liar.
Einer Liar.
For the him liar.
Die Liar. Delilah. Lila. No, it's fun. It's like an avatar. It's the same lie. Whatever. The whole universe is a lie. What to do with it? You cannot get rid of it.
So these people just have bigger personality, or they take in a bigger chunk
No, I
of
think the biggest personality is one who says, I have none. Especially the seekers who are saying, I gave up, I devoted everything to God, I devoted everything to Ramana. They're the biggest personalities. The one who says, I am God is maybe quite small. Small personality. The biggest one who claims that I gave everything to God. I devoted everything, me. That's the biggest arrogant asshole I know. Who claims that he had something what he could give to God. That's arrogance. So the one who says, I'm God, I quite like them, because at least you know them. They show how arrogant they are. The other ones, they do as if they are humid and doing and poor. That's the biggest hidden assholes I know. Bigger me is not possible. Such a bigger me. No, it's like There are no rules in it. Who is bigger, who is smaller, whatever. I think all is God in action in his arrogance. It's all God's action in his own arrogance, and he's suffering from his own arrogance. So he's punished by not being what he is. Instantly, there's a punishment. Any moment you are not what you are, you're punished by yourself, longing for that to be what you are.
But how
This
is it
burning
possible
longing.
to be what you are?
The what?
Is it possible at all to be what you are in this?
You cannot not be what you are, but you are by your almighty imagination that you have to become what you are not what you are. You are so almighty that even whatever you imagine to be, you are. And if you imagine to be separate from God, you suffer from separation. So you suffer by your own imagination, and you cannot change it. So if you imagine to be born, you are born. I don't doubt it. Your almighty nature, imagining to be born, it becomes your reality. And now trying to get rid of that reality, you make it even more. You confirm that there is one, because he needs to be unborn. So whatever you do from now on, from this imaginary thing, you confirm that there is something to do. It's such a perfect trap, such an absolute trap you put yourself in. And so, as I said always in the beginning, you fall in love with the first image of yourself, and there the trap starts. Being in love with yourself, that's the biggest. But how can you not fall in love with yourself? Try not to fall in yourself. It's now too late. That's why it's called now it's too late, because now you're already in love. You experience yourself as a lover and the beloved. And now to end that, in oneness, you make it real. From this point of this love affair with yourself, trying to end it, you make it real. You imagine that you can only be in peace without that love affair. That by that you make it so real. And I sit here and tell you, you are in spite of it, you were in spite of it, and you will be in spite of it. So be in spite of it. There's nothing in for you. With or without, you are. And that peace, you are never lost in that drama of Rama. So when there is Rama, God knows himself as Rama, there is drama. And then all the consorts of Rama and Shiva and Krishnas and all the stories. All a love story of God, a love story with himself. So it's his story, it's a consciousness story. Let him, and it will never end. So consciousness being in love is consciousness trying to know consciousness. So what? God trying to know God, but it's already a dream God. The realizer is already a real lie in the realization, but reality is unaffected from it. So be that what is always unaffected by anything. No consequence for you. So you're with and without all that dramas and the rest. So you have to rest in that whatever needs to rest. And that rest there will never be any rest of all that love affair and dramas. That was the Indian drama, the biggest drama queens and kings ever. All the gods and fighting and doing and killing and wow, fuck it.
They say it as it is.
Well, they just enjoy it maybe. They just make movies, Hollywood, Bollywood, all that. It's all your movie. And sometimes it's a drama and sometimes a comedy. Sometimes divine comedy, sometimes divine drama. But I think that divine comedy is a drama. I have no idea. No. Why should I answer to Karl? He should call me, the one who what? You are dog. Now you offend me even more. I'm not a sad guru. I'm neither a happy guru or a sad guru.
What about Jester at the court of Ramana?
The what?
Na am Hofe Ramanas.
What?
I knew you would like it.
What did he say?
Jester at the court of Ramana. Jester at the court of Ramana. Zu Deutsch, ein Narr am Hofe Ramanas.
You can be called underwear, you can be called a piece of shit, you can be called anything.
Oh, I'm sorry to insult you.
can even call me being close to the whatever. That's the beauty of I can neither be offended or pleased by anything. So try harder.
I will.
We know you will.
My question was.
Make my question was.
The acceptance that I will always fail.
It's not. You cannot accept it.
Yeah, but
you can only accept that you cannot accept it.
So that
you can in the dream that can happen, that you may accept that you cannot accept. That's the closest, but it's not good enough.
Is it that?
It's not good enough. Whatever you come up with is not good enough. Thanks God, especially you. Whatever you do, whatever you come up with, whatever you succeed in, will not be good enough. It's all a piece of shit.
Right, this piece of shit is continuously failing.
It's a shit piece.
The shit piece, the ownership, whatever. Is it like, appears like death?
No, like this. This is ownership here. Ownership. It appears
that I always think. Is it like this?
Whatever appears and disappears is shit.
Still, what I try to ask.
No, I don't have to even listen to your question. I just tell you whatever your conclusion, whatever you asked is shit questions and shit answers. And shit conclusions, no?
Just in case.
There's even just in case is shit. He always wants to find something what is not shit. Try harder. Then he becomes constipated and they only start shitting when it's hard enough. Then it's called like severe shit. Not a diarrhea shit.
Actually not. Like I have the feeling when I really fail, it feels like...
There is no real failing. There's not even a fake failing.
So maybe then I'm just trying to get something.
Of course you want to make a success story of failing. So you think by failing you succeed. You even make a failing, then you are a success story. This is not the failing I'm talking about. You're failing even in failing.
Because it did like this, no?
The Hydra, yeah. You had to shop 1 and 10 coming out. That's normal. So if you're like a tree, if you cut it down, if you don't outroot it, it will grow even far bigger afterwards. That's like the mind, it's succeeding to calm down the mind, cutting it down to whatever. So how can you outroot the mind? You try very hard, but impossible. Try to outroot something what has no reality, which is not even there. You talk about something no one ever could present mind. That everyone talks about something, but no one could ever find it. If you really look for the mind, you cannot find the mind.
You know, in my language, we don't have the word for mind. So all these spiritual books trying to...
it's like in Spain. In Spain, it's even worse. They have no word for awareness.
For what?
Awareness. No word for awareness.
What is your language?
Hebrew. My birth language.
Hebrew is where the best beer comes from. It's a Hebrew. And only that beer is good enough to drink. I would choose a Hebrew beer.
It's very frustrating.
Hebrew means God was brewing it. Hebrew.
What?
God brew the beer.
The beer.
Yeah, or whatever, the beer. The beer. Like
you
you.
would say that when you would come from Bavaria.
Why not?
Because they always believe they have...
The best brewers were from Israel.
But Bavaria doesn't believe that.
But I believe it. I say it especially in Bavaria. Because for me it's Barbaria. It's really Barbaria. October, you ever go to the Oktoberfest? Oh, how much more?
Are you from Bavaria?
If I say no, then I lie. If I say yes, I lie.
I grew up in Hamburg.
Yeah, now I grew up in Spain.
I'm south of Hanover.
And this is Bavaria or no?
No, that is a hangover.
Really, are you from Bavaria?
Parts of me for sure, because I was eating some white sausages and things, and that has come from Bavaria. So some of me, this comes from Bavaria. So you are what you eat. Yeah, if you're in India, after a while you are out of India. All of that is, after 7 years, you are totally made in India. Then you're an Indian sausage. So where do you come from? You think because your Spanish is like your mother tongue or something that makes you Spanish. No, now you're living in India, you're more Indian, whatever. You're more now you're more like a dosa. Or thali. I think India is thali. All mixed up.
Spanish tapas.
Yeah, before he was a tapa, now he is a thali. Now he is a thali who makes tapas. You know what tapas are?
Tapas, where tapas park here?
No, what tapas are? Exercises.
I know, tapas are, of course.
Yeah, but you eat them in Spain. That's the difference.
Tapas, no tapas.
You eat tapas in Spain.
Yes.
Yeah, and here you practice tapas.
Yeah, I know.
So that's the difference of being in Spain or in India.
Yeah.
So don't go to Spain and practice thali.
Yeah, Guruji, my Guruji was to just make about me all the time. It was fun of me doing, you were doing a lot of tapas in Spain, and now you are doing tapas in India. Always making fun of me with the tapas thing.
I must have some similarities with your Guruji. Who was your Guruji?
Sri Sainaturi Sarat Babuji. He's a devotee of Shirdi Sai Baba. Shirdi Sai Baba.
Shirdi from Vrindavan.
From Shirdi.
From Vrindavan.
We have here a mandir.
There are two of them on the...
No, only one.
No, there's two on the Girivaram.
There are two on the Girivaram, but our is only one, the big one.
It's short hair, he always looks very serious.
Yeah?
Yeah, what?
We saw him on Facebook.
Ah, yes, okay, that one.
It's a rich organization. They're building all these new places.
Yeah, but if you have Spanish disciples, they have worldwide. There's a lady who makes for Nityananda, she wants to make a meditation center or something.
Yes.
I saw.
Yeah.
Good luck. In India, I like it. Everything is possible. Everything. Even a German sitting in Malay talking about Ramana and weiter. It cannot be imagined. You cannot write it before it happens. Being a farmer, a cowboy from a village, milking cows for 20 years and eating peyote and having colorful milk coming out and all of that, and then sitting here in the bloody mountain and talking about what no one can talk about. That is not a madhouse. Unpredictable thing. Who can imagine that when you...
Can never imagine it.
No, indeed.
But you try and try and try. What will happen
imagine it, it's already in.
That's all it is.
So we go.
Yeah, we try to plan our so carefully, and the twists and turns that all of a sudden happen. And you're in a
No, the
totally
thing is
different place than what you thought you would be.
You plan your life, as you pay into your insurance company and all of that, and retirement plans and things, and when life happens, you're not there. You were never there actually, but yeah, it's a debt insurance. It's called a debt insurance.
Burial insurance now. That keeps coming up on my computer recently.
Yeah?
Yeah. But in the last 6 months. In the last 6 months, yeah. Burial insurance.
Ah, yeah, funeral insurances.
That's
like
burial insurance.
Well, it turns out to age, so all of a sudden it shows on.
Yeah.
They look at Facebook at the birth date, and then from that on you get this.
Maybe.
I'm sure. Facebook is clever.
I tried to get off of Facebook. I mean, I don't use it. I can't get off.
No, once you're in, you cannot sign out.
I never posted anything, but I just peek at others, and I can't get off. I tried to get off. I can't get off.
I know another one. I'm not even in Facebook, but I watch through her Facebook. Everything.
Since I can't get off, I watch others, but I don't want to get. I want to get off. Burial insurance. In the last 6 months, burial insurance. I mean, who's the insurance? I can't think. Who's the insurance for?
For when you have kids or something that
I have no kids.
No, I mean like for people who have kids that they don't put the load on them or whatever thing. In Germany it's very common to pay every month 20 euros a month, and then for that.
But in India, you know, like probably in India.
Well, the wood gets more expensive.
Well, it depends whether you want to be chucked in a ditch or whether you want to be burned properly.
Yeah, in the right place.
Just put on a piggy bank. This is for my burial.
Lately, the last 3-4 years, everyone who asks me, like my father or my sister, what should we do when you die? I tell everyone something else. I like confusion after all. And everyone is right. And they will fight for it. Karl told me he will be burned. No, Karl told me he wants to be buried next to his mother. No, Karl told me. And they're all right. They're all right. I exactly told everybody it's something else. And some I bring my ashes to the Ganga, and the other one I should be in Hamburg in the sea because it's like where the best song ever started.
Do they watch that video?
What?
Do they watch that video?
Who?
Your family.
My family. My sister comes to the talk sometimes. She was in India last year. She came here. She comes to Koh Samui, to Mallorca. Since her husband died, she comes. This is just in case. When you find it, it's over.
Talking about death.
No, it's like you try to find yourself, and then before you find it, it's over. The moment you're close to it, you are over. The finder is gone.
Is there a part of us that stays for the next lifetime? Or is there any memory?
Yes, the body is full of memory.
The body, but the body.
Yeah, the body continues. The body knows much more than you.
Yeah. But is there any part that is not in the body as a soul?
The soul.
Soul.
Well, let's not call it a soul. Let's say.
I'm undecided. Actually, I'm undecided. In a dream, yes. In reality, not. In a dream, anything can happen. Even souls can happen. In dream, anything can. Even the Dalai Lama, I believe him that he remembers 15 times or something. All shit happens in the dream. And he is even fed up. He doesn't want to become the 16th, at least not in India. He wants to be a housewife in America because then he has more time to meditate about ending the wheel of reincarnation, because really fed up of reincarnation. And he is quite sick right now, I heard. Kind of trouble. So I wish him all the best of British luck. No, if even the Dalai Lama fails to get out of this, it's like the best. If all these bodhisattvas never made it, because even they cannot leave that. It's not like the bodhisattva out of compassion he is staying here. No, he cannot leave either. He cannot go either. Even as a bodhisattva, you have there is no exit of what you are. So even if an enlightened one, a bodhisattva, cannot leave what he is. What are we?
Imagine he becomes the wife of Jim Carrey.
He is already. I think.
Then is great Ramana.
What?
Then comes great Ramana.
Great Ramana. Yeah, when they asked Ramana, where will you go? What can we do? Where will we find you? I never came. How can I go? It's like wherever. How can I leave that what I am? As I am that what never came and coming, how can I go and going? I am that. That is Ramana's answer. That is stopping the wheel of reincarnation, because in that nothing is ever incarnated. Nothing is ever born. There's many infinite experiences of birth, but nothing is ever born. That is ending the whole idea of reincarnation. But everyone who talks about reincarnation believes already that he is born. It's too late. There is only reincarnation because there's one now who believes to be incarnated. So it's a vicious circle. I talk only when I look at you.
You talk only when you look at me?
Yeah, I talk when you look at me.
Really?
Now he gets confused. So what? So in that sense, in the dream, everything is there. Souls and things. In this Hollywood movies, infinite directors, infinite actors, but actually there's only one who gets always the Oscar, and that's consciousness. All the time, the winner is consciousness. All the time, the loser is consciousness. All the time. So all there is consciousness in a big play and in that play everything is possible. Even the impossible is possible. Even that you are in spite of the game you play is possible. So even the impossible is possible. Fantastic. But it's a loophole. We call it loophole. It's not needed and not wanted in that loop of time roller coaster experience. That there's a loophole that maybe just by accident one drops out of it, or not even dropping out of it. Resigning from resigning or something, whatever, Ramana, this is possible. Normally it's not possible. It's not meant to happen and not needed to happen for life. But it happens too. So even that what is impossible and not even needed happens. So that absolute non-happening, to be that what is never happening or non-happening, happens. So in that sense, I wouldn't wait for it. I would be inspired right now about all of that.
So in some sense, atheists are a little more on the mark.
Atheists?
Atheists that don't believe that there is anything.
No, they're quite a big believer community right now. They're making now gatherings of atheists. And they fight, and they're fighting the believers. There was one who killed 3 believers I think in Texas or something. An atheist who says all the wars comes from believers, from religion. So I kill all the people with religion. It's true. It was just half a year ago or something. And I was always, before I said, at least atheists don't kill people. But now the non-believers killing believers. And it's quite a strong community of non-believers. And if they start shooting, watch out. Then the Palestinians and Israel, it was just a piece of cake. When that starts, if the religion of non-religion starts shooting, wow, all the communists, they were like atheists.
Yeah. You know, I grew up an atheist. I grew up in a family of atheists.
Yeah, but even Mao was called an atheist, like killing all the culture thing. But for me, he was the only Buddhist in China.
Really?
Yeah, because he killed all the false ideas of Buddha, all the culture, all whatever religion. He tried to kill at least. And actually, I would call Mao was more closer to Buddha than all the Buddhists before him. That sounds strange, but I mean it.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
He tried all the ideas that something has to be in that way, or that you can reach your Buddhahood by any whatever culture or butchers or religion thing. So by killing all religions, he tried to show you that Buddha cannot be reached by anything. So you have to be the Buddha without religion. So, but if I say it, it's all the Rinpoches, that's all atheists. So, something more from the town? No? What? Okay, then I have another nut. I am nuts for nuts. Spain, something more.
Well, I don't know, but maybe I'm interested more in your personal life, if I can ask something.
But I don't guarantee if I lie or not.
I will, doesn't matter.
Because I don't want to be bored by my own story, so I always invent something else.
Okay.
So now you can...
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, what about your relationship, like with the girlfriend, Charlotte, or if you can talk a little bit?
What's the sex like?
The answer would be...
What's the sex like?
No, that doesn't matter.
No, the answer is fuck them all. No, the answer is fuck them all.
What,
If you have a girlfriend, fuck them all.
Figuratively or?
In all possible ways.
Extend a little bit more that sentence is
No, fuck them all.
only that.
All the girlfriends I had sex. There was sex, so I fucked them all.
But what kind of relationship you have personally with them apart from that?
I fuck them all.
Wow. Something more?
No, I fuck them all. It's not enough. Is that not enough?
What about the foreplay?
It's already something.
Okay.
Fair enough.
That's what they want, that's what they get.
What do you love your girlfriends? Big question. All of them or some only?
All of them, no?
So what is your real question? Because this is just like not a question. What is your relationship with your relations? I have no.
How you spend
I'm not related to my relations.
No, yeah, but how you spend when you are together? You spend the day with.
I don't spend time because what is time in that sense? I could say, what is there to spend?
What do you do together?
Eating. What do you do normally in the day?
Yeah, that's all. I know. Yes, it's a stupid question. I know.
It's like the same question: do you still shit or something?
Will sex be better?
It's like, do you still have to shit after eating? Like, because people believe when you light comes out of your asshole. I tell you, there are so many belief systems, so many ideas about what will happen after enlightenment or awakening.
Oh yes, all the time.
Huh? Prana eating, prana shitting, prana.
Well, my question was more simple than that. I was not thinking in those terms. I was thinking in some normal things.
What?
We go to the Pradashina, we go to the bar, we see TV.
Pradashina?
We go, we see Facebook.
I never go so far.
No.
Pradashina.
You stay in their house, you walk, or you talk, or you
I saw them in the ashram, okay?
What?
They go to the ashram together.
They go to the nice.
I saw them. Okay, that gives you an answer.
Yeah, good.
I say, I watch television and she can join.
Television or what?
What?
What kind of television?
Movies mostly.
Action movies.
Shooting.
Shooting movies.
I cannot see love stories. It's too harmful. I cannot take it. I'm too soft for that.
Because you don't believe it. What they
No, I believe, because they harm each other so much in these love stories. It's really like, it's more painful than any action ever. This love story is pure pain. Everyone is cheating on everyone, and everyone is telling bullshit, and all of that is I cannot take it anymore. Love stories are,
Why?
yeah, they are painful.
And?
What end? Who? I'm not a masochist. I like action. I like Mahabharata, killing everyone. That's straight and painless. But the slow killing of a love affair, embracing each other and like anacondas, you are mine, you are mine. And if you don't do what I want, fantastic. No, in that I'm not. No. His girlfriend comes sometimes. Next, whatever. And then he's already preparing himself his umbrella. No, it's a strange thing. This love affair is really, you can only when you're really interested and too hard for it. If you really have a hard heart, then you can have this love story, these movies and things. Otherwise, when you really, they're so cruel. Love is so cruel. And they're so cruel to each other. They call themselves lovers and beloved, and they're just killing, like they're just pain, and like knife, always in some emotional knife into the subconscious, and then this one and that one, and always knowing where the weak spots are and where it's really painful. Wow, such a
So avoid love affairs?
Why not?
Enjoy the pain.
No, but if you ask me what kind of movies, I would, if you give me a choice, I would go for all the action movies, for whatever. Terminator, Unlimited, something. But not, who is afraid of Virginia Woolf?
You know, that woman.
Wow. This is a symbol of a movie of all the pain you can create. Wow. Or this love stories, your beloved dies and blah, and this one, and pain, and this jealousy is not a part of me, movies. Or this attempt to make some relative love unconditional. I love you so much. That 1,000 times a day. You have to say it, especially in America. I love you too. It's just an automatic recording system. I love you too. I love you anyway. Huh? You would love me anyway, not because I'm special, by doing something anyway? That's no. For that I kill you. You have to love me because I'm pretty, I do something you want, and I suck your cock or something or whatever. I love you for something. But not because anyway. No, doesn't work. So, I was talking over my time. So, last question. He is 19. I have to warn him for all that pain which is in front of him.
He's only 19.
Romeo and Juliet, they were lucky that they killed before the relationship started. The best relationship is the one who never starts.
Like, I don't care about all that pain.
You wait a moment. Just go on. Here, this youngster's talking. This innocence. When I was at this age, I had 6 girlfriends in 6 different cities. There was nothing as pain. In that age, you just...
Okay.
Yeah. That's just right.
But let him just be...
The worst pain ever.
The sea of pain will catch you.
I don't know what is... If it will gain more, but the worst pain ever I got there. And still I...
From where?
From lab affairs. Like I never... It was like dying for a few days, but who cares?
Yeah, it will be some months, it will be some years maybe.
Okay, so who cares?
Let's see if you can still say who cares. We will see. We'll talk again in a few years.
Maybe he's fast trained.
Maybe he has to marry and then they have kids or something, and then he cannot see the kids anymore, and because the wife takes him away. And there will be always something which really hits him, everyone, when he is like this. Life is the bitch, I tell you. It knows exactly how to get you and gives you the pain you deserve.
Pain you desire. The pain you desire.
You cannot escape that one.
I don't want to escape from it.
No? You will not escape that you want. There will be a time. No, there will be a time you want to escape. I tell you. There will be a moment you will escape. Now he says, who cares? There will be a moment he will care and care and care.
I know.
Wow.
And then I will remember you and you and you. It will be even worse and worse and worse.
I always said it's not so bad. It's worse. And only you can give you this deepest pain ever. The pain of Christ, the passion of Christ. The self and passion for itself. Gets even worse and worse. If the girls are all died around you, but you're in love with yourself, and not the longing gets deeper and deeper, and the heat gets hotter and hotter, and I don't want to make him afraid, but this future is interesting.
Like my grandfather.
Your grandfather told you the future is interesting?
Huh? Pardon?
You have an interesting future?
My grandfather?
Yeah, your grandfather told you?
I don't know.
You don't? Huh?
No, he's more like you.
What's his name?
It's an idiot.
Huh? What?
I have at least 2 grandfathers, so...
At least?
Oh. Yeah, at least. Biological, exactly, I guess.
Yeah? You have one mother?
Huh?
It's possible to have one grandfather. You could have shaped them all. Both your mothers, the fathers were mothers, fathers, and kids.
This is, when you understand him, you can go into any movie.
Even to the tummy movies.
Then I even don't care about any love affair anymore. If they would talk like him. Yeah? But even love affairs are funny.
You got a laugh. I have some drama. Otherwise, what we're doing until you tell us, there's nothing to do with